morning, children. This is Ma'am Paul here. I welcome you all to digital classes. This lecture of mine is for the students of class 11. We are in the middle of a poem, The Laburnum Top by Ted Hughes, and today we will conclude the poem during the last stanza. So up till now in the poem we have seen that the bird in the previous stanza, in the second stanza, the poet has told us and he has compared the swift and quick and abrupt movement of the bird with that of a lizard. He is saying the bird, while being very rapid and alert and also taking all precautions like a lizard, sits on the branches of the tree. As she moves towards the thickness of her branches, her young ones start chirping and doing vibrations with wings and making a sound like a machine. Because of the movement of the bird and her young ones, the tree starts to shake and thrill. So if we just give a careful look and we try to understand the poem, we come to know that the poet has given two opposite scenarios to us. The first one in the first stanza, where he is describing a death-like silence which has been referred by the color yellow, and in the second stanza he is saying there is so much of commotion created by the movement of the bird as well as by the chirping of the young chicks, that there is so much of excitement and noise, and the entire tree, which was very silent and calm, all of a sudden becomes so excited that he has used the word the whole tree trembles and thrills. And this is the starting up of the engine. Now let's see what he says. She stokes it full. Stoking here means just as we fill fuel in our vehicles. Similarly, here the author is saying that in between so much of noise and so much of disturbance created by the chicks, and she has to feed them and she has to fly back again, and the chicks want to be fed full. So she's trying to make sure that all the chicks are fed well in between this noise. Then she flirts out to a branch end. She flies back to the end of one of the branches, showing her bared face, identity mask. Let's see this line once again. Showing her bared face. There are several stripes on the face of the bird which is dark in color, and rest of her body is yellow. Now he has also mentioned in the beginning that the leaves of the tree are yellow in color because it is September time, it is autumn time, so the color of the trees have changed, and the body of the bird and usually the wings and the entire body are yellow in color. So it is almost a camouflage for the this bird, and she's covered in between, and nobody can know that there is a bird sitting. It's only her only identity that there is something or there is a bird is that her face is seen. Also, her face is an identity for her, that the chicks recognize her by her voice and by her face. So here what figure of speech has been used? The figure of speech metaphor has been used here, showing her bared face. That is her identity mask. That is her identity, that it is the mother of the chicks, and it is also her identity that there is a bird which is sitting hiding in the yellow leaves of the tree. Then with air's delicate whistle, chirp, whispering. Let's see it once again. Then with air, delicate whistle, chirp, whispering, she launches away. Launches again means flies away. But he has used the word launch as he is comparing it with a machine. Earlier also he had first mentioned a machine starts up. Then he is saying in the second paragraph, in the second stanza, children, it is the engine of her family. And here he is saying that first he has mentioned the word stokes it full. Then he is saying she launches away, which means that he is comparing the movements of the bird with that of a machine. So launches away means flies away and towards the infinite, means the limitless sky. She again knows that her duty is that of bringing food to her chicks. Her work is to feed them all the day long, and they will be hungry soon again. So after having her work done with a very delicate whistle and chirp like whispering, she makes some kind of a noise, she makes some kind of a sound, and then quietly she flies towards the limitless sky, and the laburnum subsides to empty. That is, again the same death-like silence prevails everywhere. Now there is one more important thing. In the beginning there is silence, we see. Towards the end of the poem there is silence again, which prevails into this wilderness, and the chicks they know that they have to be quiet, they have to be hidden in order to be saved, in order to be not eaten by any kind of predators. They have to be very quiet. It is only as soon as the mother arrives that they are excited, they make all kinds of noises, and they know they are safe because the mother is somewhere close. But as soon as the mother flies away, it is again a signal for the chicks, the young birds, to be quiet and to be sleeping in their nest, because that is the rule of the nature. One more thing, that this poem is coming with two themes. The first theme is the power of love. First of all, there is silence on the tree top, then the mother bird comes, and there is so much which can be connected to the power of love. She has brought food for her young chicks. She is making so much of efforts to make sure that they are all full and well fed, and again she has to go back and make so much of efforts in order to fetch them food. And then it is also talking about the hardships of life, children. Why? Because after having fed them, she will again fly back, find some food, come back, feed them again, and again repeat the same thing. Similarly, in life also, we do face hardships, we do face different circumstances, the challenges of life. We face them, we are ready, we think we are strong, and then after some time, we again have to face the trials of life. So this is a very inspirational poem, and the beauty of this poem is the simplicity and the pictorial representation done by the poet. I hope you all find this useful, children. We can end up by saying that the laburnum tree and the goldfinch bird is the engine of her family. She provides food to her young ones, and she moves to the other branches. Her dark colored striped face is visible as her body is yellow colored, and which hides in the yellow leaves. After reaching the end of the branch, the bird makes a sweet sound just like whispering and flies back again to the infinite sky. It again makes the laburnum tree silent and death-like. So there have been figures of speech which have been used here. I have already told you. You please mark them up. There is simile in the line, then sleek as a lizard. And there is metaphor. She enters the thickness and a machine starts up. Then there is personification. The whole tree trembles and thrills. Again, there is a metaphor showing her bared face, identity mask. And also, if you look it carefully, I would just put up a question to you. It is the engine of her family. How has this been expressed? Do you think the poet has used some kind of figure of speech? Definitely, this is a hyperbolic, or an exaggerated form of saying. He could have said that the chicks were making so much of noise, but he has used this word, an engine starts up. So he's exaggerating that there is so much of noise made by these little ones that it seems like a machine has started up. So I think this much of explanation will be helpful for you all, children, and please make your notes. And we are heading towards the half-yearly exams, so keep studying, and if you have any doubts, you can please put up your questions on the WhatsApp group. We will soon meet with another lesson. Up till then, keep studying, children. Goodbye.